Hey, God bless you. Just doing this one live again because it seems to work a little better. But just wanted to give you a few thoughts. So, as you look around this world, I'm guessing that many of you are feeling a little bit frustrated. You're watching the darkness grow, the deception grow, and you're probably thinking to yourself, when when can we leave? When can we get out of this, right? So I've just had some thoughts about that lately. um, I find myself sometimes getting getting a little lost in thinking too much about what the enemy is doing in this world, right? I see i see the agenda with like masks, for instance, and I think people are catching on to the you can't buy or sell unless you wear a mask, right? But then also the stripping of identity. You know, I was in the military a long time ago, what, probably 20 years ago now. Um, but in the military, when you first go in, they shave your head and they take your clothes. And the first thing they do is they want to strip you of your identity. And the reason they want to do that is because they want you to identify with the group and not as an individual, because it's much easier to control a group than to control a whole lot of individuals. So I can see that agenda taking place too. Get rid of people's faces, cover them with a mask, take away their individuality. But the thing is, I think there's much more to gain from getting lost in thoughts about what God is doing now, rather than thinking about what the enemy is doing. I think it can be easily you could easily become um, overly frustrated and upset if you're staring at the darkness. But God's really moving now too. I mean, He's always moving, but there's some big moves of God happening. Primarily, I'm seeing it in the home churches. Um, I mean, there's the the home church that I've been a part of. Revival is breaking out. I mean, we can't even fit all the people in the house anymore. Well, I guess they all fit still, but they're like down the halls and stuff. We're getting to the point where they won't be able to all fit much longer. And that's a great thing. God's presence is so thick in there that people walk in and sometimes just start crying, or I've watched people just pass out. Because God's power is so heavy. And I think for the time being, as long as we're here, that's only going to increase. God's going to be increasing His presence in the small groups and in the home churches, and I really sense His heart there, a heart for reconciliation for those who have not yet been reconciled to Him, or for those who had lost their way. I'm watching a lot of people find their way to Him again and be reconciled in those environments right now. It's just a real cool move to watch and be a part of. So, I guess my overarching message and encouragement for you is to really have your eyes focused on the way that God's moving right now. And if you can be a part of a home church or a gathering of believers, a group of like-minded people that are really spirit-filled and seeking after God's heart, you could really see some cool and impactful things right now. I know that there's a lot of different viewpoints, as there always probably have been, about when the rapture will come. What I've always been shown, and I continue to say this, is that it will be after some birth pains, and it will be before judgment. So the stuff you're seeing right now, this is not yet judgment. The judgments that I've seen are more like nuclear war and um, like total all out uh, civil war, and like these things that are complete chaos. I don't think that God's people are here for much of that really big stuff, for any of the judgment. But I think we're continuing to watch birth pangs, and but the thing to remember is that as those birth pangs increase, um, and as the world continues its trajectory toward all out chaos and and depravity, God's hand is moving really strong. The light is shining that much brighter, and God's people have a real opportunity right now, um, to be involved in that, and to see small bits of revival break out in their homes and in their neighborhoods. And what I've noticed is people are a lot more receptive right now. They're thinking a little bit more about their mortality, and they're thinking a little bit more about their spiritual well-being. I've run into a lot of people in recent weeks that probably wouldn't have been open to having a conversation about God, or about Christ, and now they are. Now they're asking questions, and so I encourage you not to miss out on those opportunities. I would love the rapture to happen, this month or next month, as soon as possible. Believe me. There's some things that I kind of still feel like I'm going to see, but maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I'm still gonna see a power vacuum created by something happening to Trump, and that's also going to be a further separation of God's true people um, from those who simply claim to be, who put their hope in a man, who put their hope in a political system, or some ranger who's supposed to come in and save the day by locking up all the pedophiles or whatever. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think he's going to fall, and all those people who put all their faith in him will they'll lose hope, because their hope was put in the wrong place. And I think that move of God will probably come before the rapture. I think I'll be here to see that, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I also I expect to see a little bit more civil unrest and um, food shortages and bank closures and cash drying up. I think the beginnings of those things I'll probably see. So personally, I'm kind of I'm kind of hoping for a Christmas rapture. That would be a good timeline. But hey, if it comes this month, if it comes at True Pentecost or at 9th of Av, bring it. I'm ready to go as soon as I can. But while we're here, I guess what God's really impressed on my heart, and what I'm trying to convey to you, is He's moving. There's a ministry of reconciliation taking place, and He wants people to be a part of it. He wants harvesters. He wants those who have matured in Him, to come alongside those who have not, and to bring them up. And this is taking place in the home churches. It's taking place in the smaller gatherings. It's taking place in small groups of believers getting together and eating together and fellowshipping and sharing what they have and spending their time with God, just like the first church. It's a move back to what it was always supposed to be. The big churches, I don't think it'll ever be the same. I think they'll continue to get shut down, and each time they think they can reopen, I see them being shut down again. I think God's move is back to the original plan. Back to the home churches, back to the Book of Acts, back to walking out uh, what it meant to be a believer, walking in healing, walking in deliverance, setting the captives free, um, reconciling those who have left back to their Father, rounding up all the prodigal sons and showing them that there's a path back. That's where I see God's heart right now in this time. So my encouragement to you is take your eyes off the darkness. Stop worrying about the masks and the mark of the beast and all of that. That stuff's important. That stuff's coming, uh, but the things God is doing is so much better. It's just a journey into heavenly realms right now. If you get to be a part of some of that, so seek God out on it. Ask him where his heart's at. Ask him how you can be a part of it, because I'm telling you, he's moving and it's awesome. So God bless, and I can't wait to see you all, if not here, then in the air. Bye.